To Juneteenth Northeast. My name is Dr. Annette Cole, Assistant Professor of English at the Tarrant County College Northeast Campus. To begin our program, would you please give a warm welcome to Dr. Kenya Ayers Palmore, President of Tarrant County College Northeast Campus, as she brings us greetings via a video message.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending this year's celebration of Juneteenth as we focus on characteristics of freedom here at TCC's Northeast Campus. I'm Dr. Kenya Ayers Palmore. I am the campus president, and it is my joy to welcome you here on tonight. Please know that I am most appreciative to the members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, our North Central Texas Alumni Chapter, for your many and varied contributions in partnership with the campus on behalf of the students of this region. You are greatly appreciated. Thank you. I want to say to every student who will be celebrated and lauded on tonight, we are proud of you, and there are so many possibilities that abound. Thank you for lending your gifts to this very, very important and auspicious occasion. We hope that you will all relax, sit back, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here.
We thank our campus president, Dr. Ayers Palmore, for her words of welcome. Would you please give a warm welcome to Ms. Teresa Wilson, President of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, North Central Texas Alumni Chapter, as she brings us greetings.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You all look fabulous, and we thank you for taking time out of your evening to come and celebrate Juneteenth with us. This is our 5th year here in this wonderful partnership that we have with TCC. We cannot do the work that we need to do and that we want to do without partners like TCC. So thank you so much for all that you do. As many of you know, Delta Sigma Theta was founded with 22 collegiate women. That's why it is important for us to continue to be a part of their vision, to carry out their vision, to continue with providing opportunities for education. And also, when we provide scholarship finances, it also touches upon our economic development thrust, because we know as much as we want an education, it does cost. And we appreciate being able to come here this evening and do something small to celebrate Juneteenth and to celebrate the students and allow them to grow in their artistic expression. Because we know that when we are artistic, it changes our lives because it calms us, it gives us inspiration. And so when we can walk in that, it is very impactful. So I'm going to stop talking, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right, thank you, Ms. Wilson, and thank you all for being here for this evening. My name is Dr. Shawanda Riley, and I'm an associate professor of English here at the Northeast Campus, and I, along with Dr. Annette Cole, Ms. Ingrid Ford, Ms. Donna Ross, co-chairs of the Arts and Letters Committee for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, North Central Texas Alumni Chapter. That is a mouthful. We are delighted that you have joined us for the 5th annual Juneteenth Northeast, a celebration of arts and letters.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Donna Ross, and I am a member of the North Central Texas Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I am co-chair of our chapter's Arts and Letters Committee, along with Sarah Ingrid Ford. I do want to take a quick moment at this time to thank Sarah Ford for her leadership and tireless efforts as she led us to help organize this event this year and in years past, and the leadership for our committee. You are much appreciated, Sarah Ford. Thank you. So the theme for our event this year is the characteristics of freedom. And throughout the program tonight, you will see various ways in which we define and celebrate freedom. You are in for a treat this evening as we honor a momentous day in history. Before we proceed in the program, we would like to thank the TCC Band Ensemble for our music during the reception. Wasn't it beautiful? Wonderful. Really enjoyed it. As well as Chef Kareem for catering the wonderful food for us. I wanted to go back for seconds, but I was trying to be nice. So thank you so much. At this time, we'd also like to acknowledge some special guests that are in the audience today. First, if there are any elected officials present, would you please stand to be recognized? None today, all right. Next, we do have Madison Corzine, the newly crowned Miss Juneteenth DFW. We also have present the Acting Vice President for Student Affairs for TCC Northeast, Dr. Jane Clayton. And also the Dean of Community Education and Engagement, Tara Frost. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this evening, and we will continue with the event. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ingrid Ford, and I am one of the other co-chair of the Arts and Letters Committee of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated North Central Texas Alumni Chapter. And lest we forget, I would like to just go over a brief history of Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration honoring the end of slavery in the United States. However, centuries before there was a Juneteenth to celebrate, most historians today estimate between 9 and 11 million citizens from various African nations were taken from their continent around the year 1619 by European slave traders and landed alive on this side of the Atlantic. Census records from 1860 recorded 182,566 slaves of African descent lived in Texas. In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, demanding that Confederate states return to the Union or their slaves would be permanently freed. However, since the country was in the midst of the Civil War, those states that had seceded from the Union did not adhere to the proclamation, and slaves in those states remained unfree. In Texas, which seceded in 1861, no action was taken to comply with the proclamation, leaving massive numbers of slaves still in bondage. It took the American Civil War, which lasted from April 12, 1861 to April 9, 1865, in which human casualties estimated to have been over 600,000, and the victory by the Union to bring an end to all states. On June 19, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger led thousands of federal troops to Galveston, Texas, to announce that the Civil War had ended and slaves had been freed. As many of us know, Juneteenth was made a federal holiday in the United States in 2021. We are grateful to have had the presence of Ms. Opal Lee, a local champion for Juneteenth, during our virtual event last year when this federal holiday was announced. It is an honor to commemorate this moment in history with an exciting evening of performances and showcases of art. You will see dancing, singing, poetry, live art, and more, followed by a presentation of scholarships to 3 very talented TCC student artists. I thank you for being here. Please enjoy your evening.
All right, we're going to ask everybody to please stand as we prepare to sing the Negro National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing, and for those that are wondering, we are doing all of the verses. I am going to start it off, and I'm going to ask that you all don't leave me hanging singing this song by myself. But the words will be on the screen. Your seats.
Totally unscripted, but I think that is the most emotional song I have ever sung before. And if it doesn't bring me to tears at some point, then something is wrong. So I really appreciate that version. Thank you. Okay, so we're excited to introduce to you Movers Unlimited, TCC, Northeast Pre-Professional Dance Company, led by Dr. Kyung Choi and Jenna Chang. They will be sharing 2 performances with you this evening. Their first performance will be accompanied by the song Freedom by John Baptiste. Please welcome Movers Unlimited.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kara Walker. I'm the Interim Director of Student Development Services here at TCC Northeast, and I also extend welcome to everyone for our program this evening. You'll see me throughout the program acknowledging students who participated in our Juneteenth Northeast Art Contest. And so we are super excited that we've had student engagement in this way to acknowledge such an important moment in history. So yes, the student artwork that is featured tonight was also featured during our reception. And three of these students will be receiving scholarships tonight, sponsored by Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So student artists, if you are present, as your name is called, we ask that you come to the front of the room to be recognized. So first we have Jaylene Maravrio with Freedom of Generations using the digital drawing medium. And Jaylene couldn't make it tonight, but Jaylene does share that the theme of characteristics of freedom reminded me of the generations of slavery endured and the experience elderly African Americans are forced to live with to this current day. While they continue living with this traumatic experience, they also got to experience freedom and watch their grandchildren live a life they did not receive. This drawing expresses the peaceful and comfortable emotions that come with freedom, showing two different generations, showing a bright and hopeful atmosphere and showing the grandmother supporting her grandchild with a loving touch. So let's give a hand to Jaylene. All right, next we have Kuyen Tran with Break Free. Is Kuyen here this evening? All right, that's all right. Using digital art through Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. So Kuyen shares the artwork reflects contemporary outlook of a rising generation who express their freedom by showing their true colors, their individuality, as well as courage to share their uniqueness to others. It's a peek of what a community celebrating freedom looks like, where art, culture, and people blend together and create a beautiful image of a diverse yet united world. So let's give a hand for Kuyen. And then next we have Hafsa Luho with Freedom as an Angel. And I know Hafsa couldn't make it this evening. Using the painting medium, Hafsa shares, here is a painting which inspires us to be free and enjoy each of life's moments. This painting shows that freedom is like leaving a cage or prison and living comfortably. The broken cage indicates that the time of enslavement is over, and the flying angel, like a human, is currently flying far into the horizon. I made this painting using only acrylic colors. So let's give a hand for Hafsa. All right, so more student work will be shared throughout tonight's program. And as we move forward, we will move next to our next presentation. So I hand it over to Donna.
So next on our program, we are pleased to introduce the Sisters of Praise from St. John Unleashed, from the Church St. John Unleashed in Southlake, Texas. The dancers who use movement as a form of worship to express the word and spirit of God, minister through dance. Please welcome the Sisters of Praise dancers.
Anybody want to press a little further? Anybody want to press a little further? Somebody lift your voice into the Lord. Tell him, God, I want to press a little further. Press in your presence. Come on, we about to get out of your way, but we want to press a little further. Amen. If I can just press in your presence, behold the beauty of your face. If I can just press in your presence and never leave this place again. If I can just press in your presence and leave all my cares behind me, I will be whole, I'll still believe, I will just lay at your feet, for I will be whole, I'll still believe, I will just praise at your feet, right here in your presence. Somebody come on and tell the Lord you want to press a little deeper.
Wow, thank you so much, Sisters of Praise from St. John Unleashed. That was amazing. And you guys look beautiful, too. It's wonderful. Now, from Buffalo, New York, is a poet who has been featured all through the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia areas, and various cities in Pennsylvania, and has even graced the stage of the legendary New Yorican Poets Cafe. His influence range from Rudy Francisco, Amir Shulamane, John Legend, to the late Tupac Shakur. The central themes in his writings are love, revolution, and resolution. This is Ross Vance Cooper.
Well, since I'm the first artist got a chance to actually speak, I'd like to thank you all for being here. I'm going to back up and let this breathe a little bit. I appreciate the performers that came before me. Short the distance. We have been taught that the shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line. But be we speaking geometrically or geographically, there's been one hell of a distance between this country's freedom and mine. July 4th, 1776, Emancipation Proclamation, June 19th, 1865. And truly, that's just a small chunk of the overall timeline. Look at what we had to survive. 80 days for a 5,000-mile ride multiplied by a few hundred years. Freedom for some kidnapped African people was the shortest distance from the ship's bows to over the ship's bow, because they knew long before Killmonger that death was better than bondage. From a griot's words to a young person's ears, a callous palm to a djembe that sounded like rebellion, my freedom had to travel the distance from Virginia to Texas with a stop for a raid at Harper's Ferry and a Southampton insurrection in between. Juneteenth? Well, that's the answer to the question on why they want to ban critical race theory on this here land, where in Galveston word spread that finally we were no longer enslaved women and men. And we were free to put down roots, because our freedom had to travel the distance from Kunta to Toby. From the stroke of Lincoln's pen to Union soldiers marching in, which marked the end of this particular nightmare of overt captivity. For the first time in this young country's history, people who looked like me were no longer legally considered property. Regardless of the short distance between Special Field Order 15 and Johnson's revoking, Reconstruction, black codes, segregation, Klansmen, blood in the soil of Rosewood, Black Wall Street's ashes, we are still standing. Beautifully, defiantly. Hearing Mother Africa and our heartbeat, modern day abolitionists brave and bold, looking to close the gaping loophole that still wants to swallow us whole, lingering in the 13th, we will celebrate the day and still try to honor the promise of Juneteenth, thus shortening the distance between our plight and our divine rights of royalty. Let us leave no doubt, though our actions and our words, that we will honor our ancestors and at all costs live and die free. Thank you.
All right, so as we continue in featuring student participants from the Juneteenth Creative Works Contest, we have Rebecca Morris with One Step Closer, a t-shirt or poster graphic, and Rebecca couldn't be with us this evening, but she shares that based on her piece, America could not begin to understand freedom until after Juneteenth. So next we have Anling Chang, who is here this evening. If Anling can come forward, come on up, Anling. All right. So Anling created Stand Up using the digital art medium. Anling shares, my piece was inspired by the song Stand Up by Cynthia Erivo from the 2019 film Harriet. It is such a beautiful and powerful piece, and I wanted to incorporate her lyrics into my artwork. Additionally, the color palette comes from the Pan-African Juneteenth flag, which represents people of the African diaspora and the symbol of Black liberation. The red symbolizes the unity of Black people through their African ancestry and the loss of countless lives due to subjugation and slavery. The Black represents Black people themselves and the strength in their community. Green represents the fertility of motherland Africa. I used all of that together to create my piece. Visually, the people in my artwork have raised clenched fists, a universal symbol of political solidarity, strength, unity, and resistance. The sunrise is to represent that there is hope and opportunity. Even after the darkest of days, the sun always rises. There will always be a way to overcome the challenges life gives you. Repeatedly, Black people have shown this strength and perseverance throughout history. Overall, I wanted my art piece to show perseverance, unity, and hope for freedom. So let's give a round of applause for Anling. Yes. And next we have Daniela Urbina Parada with Break It. Daniela's here, if you couldn't guess. So come on up, Daniela, and be recognized. Daniela, come on. Oh, there she is. There she is. All right, let's welcome Daniela. All right, so Break It is a painting made with markers. Daniela shares, the composition has the Juneteenth flag, which represents the abolition of slavery. Also, it's called Break It because the painting shows a strong woman of dark skin breaking the chains to be free in a society in which she doesn't have rights. So let's give a round of applause to Daniela. Thank you, Daniela. All right, at this time, I'm pleased to bring back Movers Unlimited with a second performance.
Let's give another round of applause to the Movers Unlimited. Wonderful performance. Thank you so much. And they did a wardrobe change in between. All right. So as we draw near to the end of our program, we are excited to present to you next Lisa Lynn Burke, a talented community artist who will be creating a live art piece for us this evening. Lisa Lynn has been creating fluid art since 2015, creating unique pieces that have even won, okay, that's me, recognition with the Texas State Fair. Lisa Lynn is no stranger to our Juneteenth Northeast event. At our 2019 event, she created another piece called Freedom Flight, which is actually on display right outside the doors of our facility here on the right in the hallway. So please take a moment when you can and go take a look at it. And we are in for a treat tonight as she uses her unique methods to paint on canvas. And if you are interested in purchasing any of her prints, you can do so at llboriginals.com. So please welcome Lisa Lynn.
Am I on?
Almost.
Almost. Hello?
How about that Texas traffic? How about that Texas heat? How about I got this t-shirt yesterday and already have paint on it, so, but that's okay. That's okay.
Working on check. Should be working. No, it's making it in there. I just don't know why it's not coming through there.
Wait, it's here or
Get the
something.
handheld?
No, she's gonna paint. She can't.
Oh, well, that's true. Well, it's making it through there, just not making it through there.
And Lisa Lynn, my dad was outvoted. My mom and her sister,
They're not getting any sound though back here.
Right.
because-
and he knew he was outvoted because he wanted Mona Lisa, because he loved the national folk song. So I'm Lisa Lynn,
See, it's coming through. Okay.
what I'm gonna do for you guys tonight, on the floor,
It's not going out.
and using a hairdryer with her. And this is a 22 by
Check.
some light pink and some jello. That's kind of intimidating. Okay. And so we're good. Okay. So we're gonna, I'm gonna do this painting for you. And after the Texas traffic, I hope it comes out great, so. And I wound up having to buy a new hair dryer because my other one died, and so I'm out buying a new hair dryer at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So this is gonna be an adventure for all of us. So, and first thing I'm gonna do is put on some gloves, because I don't want to get all this white paint all over me, like I already do. And after this is over, if y'all have any questions, anything, just feel free to ask. And also, too, if you're into cats, a little bit of my art and ballerinas, ballet, I have journals on Amazon. I'm just new to that, and I love it, and so I can give you all that information, too. That's a shameless pour. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is this is just regular white paint, white acrylic paint. Give it a base. Usually when I'm home, I'll just make a mess because nobody's watching me except a cat, so they don't care. But I got folks watching me now, so I'm trying to be neat. I'm trying to sort of be, you know, so I'd be sitting there with the iced tea and everything else and listen to the Temptations and the Cats and everything. So I'm trying to be a okay. And I'm using the white paint because it's going to help the paint flow better on the canvas. Okay. Oops. We're okay with that. And what the torch does is it pops the air bubbles. And the first time I ever tried to use this, I almost burned down my house, so. Okay. Okay, we're going to keep our fingers crossed here. And what I'm going to do is put 2 lines on the canvas. See? In no particular order of the paint. And I'm putting white on here because I'm going to put the yellow, and I want the yellow to be able to show a little bit more. Otherwise, you know, when you mix yellow and blue, you're going to get green. And I just want a little bit of yellow to show by itself. I did these colors because I love blue. And you can't go wrong with primary colors. Okay. Boy, I made a mess up here. Just like home. I feel good now. Okay. And this is just a regular hair dryer. Like I said, my other one broke. And I went up to the Dollar General and got this. So, and the other one was from Target, same thing. So. I don't like this part over here. I'm sorry. It's like I want to do something here, and I don't want to keep you guys here all night because at home I'd be doing a bunch of stuff here. Okay, we're going to call it quits. This part is real interesting over here. Reminds me of, kind of reminds me of plaid stuff that I used to wear in grade school, like little dresses and everything. But this is a Dutch pour, which you're using your hair dryer. I'm going to be real honest with you. I really like this, except this one part. And if we were at my house, I'd be scraping this off and redoing it. But we're here, and and I want to be conscious of everybody's time. So that's it. Thank you. You guys are very kind. You guys are very kind. Probably a good couple days. Yeah, but this particular paint, it doesn't dry as fast as others that I use, and that kind of disappoints me. But like in a good couple days, it should be dry, and then I can come back and varnish it so it can be shiny and the colors will pop. You need to ask the school. Okay. Put all the stuff in my bag.
All right. Are there any other questions for Lisa Lynn?
How did you come up with that idea? Have you seen that method before, or you just created that on your own?
I wish I could say I did it on my own, but it's the University of YouTube. And because you can find anything on YouTube, and there are a lot of fluid artists, and this is a Dutch pour, and there was a lady that I saw that I really liked what she did and all, but she used a different paint than I did, but there's just a lot of them out there, and it's a lot of fun because it's a hair dryer, and it's a hair dryer that I do use, that I will use, so. This is Deco Art, and this is their, get it at Michael's, or even online, I think. And it's their pre-mixed pouring paint, because otherwise I mix my paints with water or a medium to make it fluid, because it's fluid art, and so the paint has to be able to flow. But this is Deco Art, and I really like their colors that they have.
All right. Yes. Thank you so much, Lisa Lynn. And your painting is beautiful. So thank you so much. All right. So we look forward to that being on the TCC campus here in the near future. All right. So as we get toward the end of our program, we have one more group of student artists to recognize. And our next student is Donelli Gonzalez with Roots. Come on up, Donelli. All right. So Donelli Donelli created Roots with charcoal and Sharpie, so this is a drawing. Very impressive. Donelli shares that this work captures African influence and the freedoms that lie in dancing as a form of expression. Thank you so much, Donelli. All right, next we have Teray Warren with Characteristics of Freedom, and Teray is coming forward. Let's welcome Teray. All right, and Teray created a short film. So if you were here at the reception, you may have seen it playing in the hallway. But we're going to watch Teray's short film.
being defined as black here is associated with trauma. You can't separate being black from like the stuff that happens to people, to black people in this country.
I remember growing up, I'd see all these big, pretty houses that were in my hometown. Mom, what are those big, pretty houses? And she said, oh, those are antebellum homes. They're where they kept us as slaves. They're not pretty.
I see Black and African American as two distinct things. When people immigrate to a country, they become a hyphen. Italian American, this American. And when I look at my family, I can count at least 6 generations back where they were in the United States.
I'm Jewish, kind of. It's a matrilineal thing, and my mom got it from her dad, so I don't get to really count.
You have to be born in one of the countries of Latin America to be considered Latina. But the Hispanic part is more like, okay, I speak Spanish, my children will speak Spanish, and that's how we carry that on.
I want to define it as strong because literally in the anthem of Mexico, Soldados a la grita de guerra is like a shout to war. So they're always, a lot of Latinos, they're supposed to be strong.
I feel like Nepali people get overlooked a lot of times. A lot of people don't know we exist. Being Nepali comes with a lot of culture. I think it's beautiful, and I love being Nepali.
My dad in Mexico, he's white. Well, he's skin color white. He's Mexican. So even he's kind of, even though he's Mexican, just because he's a white Mexican, sometimes they're like, he's colonized with the ED. Gotcha. So like he's been Americanized. He doesn't understand Mexicans anymore. Yeah.
With me, I have experienced, I guess, racism from every color. But having that open mind and just thinking about how that person should not be defining the other people.
Being LGBT and being of color as being a thing that's not looked upon as a good thing is alienating.
So the generational trauma is definitely like one struggle that I've had to overcome and be like, okay, no, I'm not gonna think that way because that makes 0 sense.
I was very conflict averse because I never wanted to be the angry black woman.
In terms of being Jewish, it was as a kid mentioning my Jewish heritage and having people make oven jokes at me. It's not fun, so you stop mentioning it.
I truly don't have the answer to that question, but I hope one day I do.
Freedom first starts in the mind. Trauma frames our experiences, and to totally be free of something, we actually have to be free of those traumatic experiences.
Ideally, what freedom would be is, yes, I can think what I want to think, I can do what I want to do, I can say what I want to say. That's not going to take away from your freedom.
Doing what you want to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else.
I think it also has to do with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Being free to live in tandem with your community and your community live in tandem with you.
I think freedom is a feeling, and you can't really describe a feeling.
My name is Aaron Samperio, and I am Mexican American.
My name's Natalia Ramirez, and I'm Hispanic and Latina.
My name is Faridi Gurung, and I am Asian.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and it's complicated.
My name is Teray Warren, and I'm black.
My name's Rachel Adams, and I'm black.
My name is Madison Sinclair King, and I'm African American.
My name is Victor Myers, and I'm African American.
All right, let's give a round of applause. Teray also shared with her submission, while we all have an idea of freedom, it means something slightly different to each of us. The diverse group of students featured shared their perspective on what freedom means to them based on their journey and experiences through this ethnically diverse nation. Thank you, Teray. And last but certainly not least, we have Jocelyn Marario Loa with The Freedom of Happiness, which is a digital drawing, and Jocelyn couldn't make it this evening. But Jocelyn shares, with my drawing, I focused more on the African American children of today. My drawing depicts the freedom Black children have today by showing their ability to wear whatever they'd like and having smiles on their faces. In the back, I used traditional Juneteenth African American colors, green, red, and yellow. Using the fists for the Black Lives Matter movement, breaking the chains of former slaves is a powerful message of being able to simply exist in society, no matter what the color of Black men, women, and children's skin is. My drawing shows that the future is now. So what wonderful submissions from all of our students. Let's give them all a round of applause. It is now time for us to present our scholarship winners with their awards. At this time, I invite Ms. Teresa Wilson as she presents the awards. And then in a moment, I also invite our campus president, Dr. Kenya Ayers-Palmore, to help the students receive their awards. So take it over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, let's give all of the submissions a round of applause. We were able to review all 9 of the submissions, and fortunately, everyone will receive some type of award. However, we did select a first, second, and third place winner, and I will begin with third place, and that award goes to Jaylene Malreal. Okay, what she said. I apologize. I said I was going to get it right, but I didn't. Second place to Anling Chang. And first place will be T-Ray Warren. And if you will come forward. I'm done.
All right, to close us out, I invite our MCs to give some closing words.
Whoa, I'm still not used to this. Let's give a very big round of applause to all our presenters and performers this evening. We are so happy to have had you here this evening and hope you all enjoyed the program. Before we go, we would like to thank some of our campus administrators for their distinct support of this program. Dr. Kenya Ayers-Palmore, campus president. Dr. Jan Clayton, acting vice president of student affairs. And Tara Frost, dean of community education and engagement.
We are also grateful for the support of this program in partnership with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, North Central Texas Alumni Chapter, especially for your sponsorship of these great scholarships. Thank you.
And we'd also like to thank the Planning Committee for their hard work and for the months of planning. And as I call your name, we would ask that you would stand up, and if you're already standing, just raise your hand. Deborah Sykes-West. All right, there she is. Shantae Coleman in the back. All right, Dr. Annette Cole. Oh, Dr. Annette Cole, who's talking behind the curtain. Dr. Annette, oh, she's waving her crutch. Okay, Michelle Taylor in the back. Kara Walker. All right. Ingrid Ford. Donna Ross. And then, of course, and Donna and myself. We extend a special thanks to the TCC Northeast Campus student activities, music, dance, art, graphics, video, and media departments as well. You know, it's Juneteenth, and we don't want anybody to go home empty-handed. It's been a wonderful night of enjoying music and art and dance, but we have special bags in the back, a red bag that it doesn't have your name on it, but you can take one anyway. Take one as a special thank you for coming and celebrating with us tonight. Thank you once again for being here this evening. Have a great night, and let freedom ring. Thank you. Oh, that's it, y'all. Go get the bags.